You ever see a girl get grabbed by the collar in front of the entire cafeteria, and instead of crying or flinching, she just looks her bully dead in the eye and tells him to sit down because the game ain't over yet? Yeah, that happened. And what started as one humiliating moment turned into a full-blown reckoning, one that shook the walls of a school built on fake prestige and even faker justice. Let me take you back. Her name was Amara Gaines, 16 years old, chess prodigy, daughter of a city bus driver and a woman who worked double shifts at the hospital 6 nights a week. She didn't come from legacy. She didn't come from money. But what she did come from was fire. Now, Amara didn't ask to be the center of attention at Ridgecrest Academy, a private school with marble hallways, oil paintings of dead white founders, and students whose last names opened doors in the state capitol. She got in on scholarship. She kept to herself. Head down, grades up, chess club on Thursdays. Chess. No drama. But schools like Ridgecrest don't just let you be invisible, especially if you're black, brilliant, and female, and especially not when you beat one of their own at the one thing they think they own, power. See, it all really started the day she mopped the floor with Connor Langston during her first chess club match. He was the golden boy, captain of the swim team, son of a real estate tycoon, and used to winning. And there she was, quiet little Amara, calmly dismantling his every move piece by piece while he sat there sweating through his prep school blazer. By the end of the match, he was the one left with nothing but a king and excuses. And Amara? She just tapped her knight, smiled faintly, and said, "Checkmate." People started whispering. That wasn't supposed to happen. She wasn't supposed to win. She wasn't even supposed to be there. That's when the real game began. The weeks that followed, miserable. Her textbooks vanished before midterms. Her locker got jammed with chewing gum. Anonymous notes with slurs showed up in her bag. Her chemistry partner suddenly transferred sections. And yet, Amara said nothing. She played their psychological chess like a grandmaster, observed, waited, prepared her next move. And then came the cafeteria. It was a Friday. Cold, windy. Students buzzing about the upcoming Northeast Chess Regionals. The school was hosting for the first time. And Amara? She was considering dropping out. The pressure was mounting, and even her calculus teacher had started pulling her aside, subtly hinting that her recent decline in focus might jeopardize her scholarship. So that day, instead of hiding in the library or eating lunch in the science wing like usual, she walked right into the center of the cafeteria, carrying her father's old wooden chess set, the one he'd carved and stained by hand before he passed. She sat down at the most visible table and began arranging the pieces, slowly, deliberately. It was a message. I'm here. I'm not hiding. Your move. Within minutes, the air shifted. Connor walked in first. Then came Victoria Ellis, daughter of a state senator, with that permanent smirk that said, "My daddy owns your daddy." Jason Wu and Megan Clark flanked them, giggling and filming on their phones like this was about to be some public shaming. But leading the pack was Camden Langston, Connor's older brother. Camden didn't like losing, he didn't like surprises, and he really didn't like that the black girl with free tuition was making his family look bad. "Thought you might want a warm-up match," Camden said, loud enough for everyone to hear. Amara didn't even flinch. She gestured to the empty chair. He sat. What followed was 20 minutes of pure humiliation. Amara played like she was carving a masterpiece. Camden tried to intimidate, to bluff, to stall, but her eyes never left the board. And just when it looked like he might escape, she sacrificed her bishop, lured him into a trap, and slid her queen into place like it was destined. "Checkmate," she whispered. You could have heard a pin drop. And then, he snapped. He stood up, grabbed her collar with both hands, yanked her forward, and sneered, "You think you're better than me?" Phones were out. Students gasped. Even the teachers in the room froze. But Amara, she didn't cry. She didn't scream. She looked him straight in the eye, calm as the sea before a storm, and said, "Take your hand off me and sit down. We're not finished." That moment, it broke something. Not in her, in them. Camden's grip loosened. The tension cracked. And suddenly, one of the students from the back shouted, "Yo, that's enough!" It was Eric, a sophomore from her chemistry class. Then another girl stepped forward. "You'll have to go through me too," she said. One by one, students who'd never even spoken to Amara before formed a wall around her. Camden's gang backed off, faces red, cameras still rolling. But of course, Ridgecrest didn't see it that way. That afternoon, Amara got called into the principal's office. And guess what? They suspended her, said she'd provoked a disruption, said her presence in the cafeteria was confrontational, said her chessboard was a symbol of aggression. Meanwhile, Camden got to go home early. No record, no punishment, no accountability. Amara's mother, Nina Gaines, stormed down to the school that night after her shift in scrubs and called it what it was: racism, plain and simple. The principal tried to brush it off until Nina pulled out her phone, because guess what? Amara had recorded everything. Oh, and so had half the student body. And when those clips hit social media, it was like a wildfire. Parents demanded answers. Alumni started writing letters. A few brave teachers, like Ms. Delgado, who'd once been the only Latina in the whole district, filed official complaints. But the board? They tried to play it safe, called a closed-door emergency meeting, tried to spin the whole thing as a misunderstanding, tried to say both students had violated conduct policy. But then came Victoria. Remember her? The senator's daughter? She stood up at that meeting, shaking, pale, and said, "I was part of it. Camden planned everything. We targeted Amara because we didn't want her here. I was wrong." Boom. That was the twist no one expected. Her confession cracked the whole facade. The board had no choice. Camden was pulled from Ridgecrest entirely, shipped off to a Swiss prep school, according to rumors. Amara, her suspension was overturned, her chess ranking reinstated. And yeah, she went to that tournament. She didn't just compete, she won. But the story didn't end there, because Amara, being who she is, didn't stop at personal victory. She worked with the school's diversity council to push real reform, curriculum changes, accountability for racist behavior, clear channels for reporting harassment. Real stuff. Not just posters with empty slogans. She became the first student in Ridgecrest history to address the entire school board, and she ended her speech with this: "Chess taught me that the most powerful piece often starts in the weakest position. What matters is how you move." And then, she moved a rook. The same rook her father carved years ago, still scratched from where it had once cracked, now polished smooth by her own hands. And that, my friend, that's how you make a system change its rules. One move at a time. Now here's where I'm going to leave it to you. Was it right for Amara to stay and fight? Or should she have transferred and found peace somewhere else? And what do you think about the board's behavior? Was it cowardice or just the system doing what it's always done? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And hey, if stories like this matter to you, hit that like button, share this video, and subscribe so we can keep shining a light on truth, one story at a time. You never know who needs to hear it.